In the 1950s, the US began the top-secret Project Sundial. Most of it is still classified. The goal? A single nuclear bomb so powerful it would destroy all of human civilization. Conceived in cold logic from the mind of a genius scientist.
Mom, I was reading about a super big bomb.
Oh dear, here we go again. What are you thinking now, Miya?
No, seriously, Mom. It was the biggest bomb ever. Like, bigger than any of the ones we've heard about in history.
What bomb? Miya, I think you're mixing up your toys with history again. Why don't you ask your dad?
Can't I ever ask Mom anything and responds without pushing me to Papa? Papa, tell me about the biggest bomb ever. I heard it could destroy the whole world.
The biggest bomb, huh? You're talking about Project Sundial, aren't you?
Yes. What was it? And why did they even think about building it?
Miya, Project Sundial was not just any bomb. It was supposed to be the ultimate weapon, the final weapon capable of destroying the world itself. Papa. After World War II, the world found itself in the grip of a new kind of war, one fought without weapons on the battlefield, but with threats of annihilation in the form of nuclear bombs. The two superpowers, America and the Soviet Union, engaged in an arms race, trying to outdo each other in building ever more powerful weapons of mass destruction. And in that race, one scientist, Edward Teller, wanted to go further than anyone else.
But the weapons they were making, they weren't just big, they were apocalyptic, right?
Exactly. While the first atomic bombs were destructive, Teller envisioned something that could bring about the end of civilization itself. He wanted a bomb so powerful that no one could even fathom the horror of it. Something that would make the entire world quake with fear. This was Project Sundial, a bomb that would weigh about 2,000 tons. That's heavier than a 250-meter-long cargo train. Imagine something that heavy. Moving it would be nearly impossible. Even transporting it across the US would have been a challenge, an unimaginable task. The US military would have had to construct special highways and railways just to get it from place to place. But even then, it wouldn't matter. You see, Sundial wasn't just dangerous because of its size. Its blast radius would be so powerful that even if it was set off in Washington, D.C., the heart of the United States, it could devastate places as far away as Russia, Australia, Africa. All corners of the earth would feel its shockwave.
Wait. If it was so big, how did they even plan to hide it?
That's the thing, Miya. They couldn't hide it. It was so large that it was impossible to move secretly. The bomb could wipe out a city, a country, but it wouldn't stop there. Its effects would ripple out across the world, so massive that it could change the entire atmosphere of the Earth. A bomb that could touch every corner of the globe, from North America to the farthest reaches of the South Pacific. There were also rumors that if America would fail to transport the bomb to the battlefields and the risks were high, they could detonate it within American borders, and Russia in this case would also be affected by the blast.
So it was that powerful?
Too powerful that both the enemy and its creators would vanish. Let's say the Sundial exploded, it would release energy equal to 10 billion tons of TNT. A force so immense it would make Hiroshima and Nagasaki look like a small spark. It would vaporize entire cities instantly, melting everything in its path. The fireball would be 50 kilometers wide, hotter than the sun's surface. Anyone within 400 kilometers of the blast would be instantly vaporized. They wouldn't even have time to scream. An instant spark that even the body nerves wouldn't recognize what just happened to you.
Me, vaporize? 400 kilometers away? That's insane.
Imagine this, Miya, half of a country wiped out in an instant. No one could survive the blast. The heat would turn forests to charcoal and buildings to ash. The shockwave would flatten everything for miles around. But the worst part was yet to come. The explosion itself would trigger a global climate catastrophe. The atmosphere would be filled with soot and radioactive particles, blocking out sunlight for months, even years, maybe. Temperatures would plummet. Crops would fail due to low rainfall and total darkness. Entire ecosystems would collapse. The Earth would enter a new ice age and life on Earth would be radically altered, maybe even brought to extinction.
So that's why they call it a nuclear winter. But, didn't they stop it? I mean, this sounds way too dangerous.
Very dangerous, Miya. Sundial was never built. The idea was too terrifying even for the military itself. The scientists who worked on it, people like Teller, faced major backlash from their colleagues. It became clear that a weapon of this magnitude would only ensure mutual destruction, not victory. Even if the bomb wasn't built, its idea was a wake-up call. The arms race continued, but Project Sundial became a symbol of how far mankind was willing to go.
It's devastating to even think about it.
The Cold War heated up. Both the US and the Soviet Union amassed more nuclear weapons, hundreds, than thousands. The Soviet Union developed their own thermonuclear weapons, with bombers and missiles aimed at America. The balance of terror, the idea that neither side could strike first without facing total annihilation, became the rule.
So they kept building bombs, even after Sundial.
Exactly. The US and the Soviet Union didn't stop building nuclear weapons. They wanted more, bigger bombs, faster bombs. But there was a fear, an unspeakable fear, that one day, these bombs would be used. The Cold War was a war of nerves, where every move, every missile, could trigger the end of the world. Properly today, the threat is still real. There are still thousands of nuclear weapons in the world. The US and Russia alone hold 12,000 nuclear warheads, more than enough to end civilization.
Just like in recent news about war between Russia and Ukraine backed by Europe, Iran and America, Israel and Palestine. Will we ever get rid of these bombs?
But it's up to us as a species, Miya. The world has to learn how to solve problems without violence. If we continue on the path we are on, we risk losing everything. But if we choose diplomacy, cooperation, and peace, we have a chance at avoiding the fate of a doomsday world.
I think we need to focus on fixing things, not blowing them up. No one should ever have to live in fear of something terrifying as that.
I agree, Miya. That's the future we need to build, a world where we don't rely on weapons of mass destruction, but on understanding and cooperation.
Catch our other episode on Surviving the Aftermath of a Nuclear Apocalypse, link in the description. Subscribe to Miya Wonders.